Sorry, guys. 1 minute. Oops. There we go. All right. Hello. Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Oh, there you go. So Nicole, thank you so much for joining me today. I know there's a lot of things going on. You have the launch of A Snowy Day in Oakland, which is amazing. And I know the show is about destigmatizing mental health. So can you just go over what aspects of, mental health stigmas does the show address in the Black community?
Well, I think that it's the movie's about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And what I think trust is a big issue.
Mm.
And we're so isolated in our own worlds as a people. We have our own culture, our own language. And then inside of that, we have our own internal emotional self-care system. And so it's a gentle way of encouraging us as a people to start opening up and sharing and not protecting our private space so much, and
Right.
realizing how collectively we are usually going through the same things, and that we're so self-sufficient. That is how we've survived. That it's a long road to saying it's okay to ask for help
Right.
and reach out for it. So the movie is so precious and so sweet and so warm that Kim, the director, Kim Bass, made sure that he created an environment that said that it's okay.
I love that. And I think that's so important. And like you went over trust. And that's like the biggest thing, especially in the community. And going towards your character that you're playing, Latrice. What personally does she have to deal with when it comes to trust and opening up in the film?
Well, I think that inside of that story, there's also like heartbreak. Her
Right.
boyfriend like is shady,
Yes.
and so she's on her own journey too of rebuilding her trust in humanity and love, and um yeah, so it's a story within a story.
That's nice. And this film definitely touches on mental health and stigma and the destigmatizing. So, what aspects of that do you find you're geared towards? What points in the film do you touch on that resonate with you when it comes to that?
um well, we kind of talked about that, but I feel like all of the characters I kind of relate to, I think, and that's part of the subconscious kind of narrative that Kim was talking about. Like, these are all parts of her.
Right.
I am my mother and father. I am my cousins. I am my ancestors. So you have all these different characters at different ages and different stages in their life that are all pieces of all of us, you know, um, dealing with loss, dealing with insecurity, dealing with aging, dealing with trust, dealing with old wounds. I mean, these are all separate characters in the movie, but these are
Right.
things that exist inside of each of us. So I just related to that part, that, you go to therapy over an immediate issue, but
Right.
you will always touch on all the things that got you to this point. And that's, I think, the beginning of the healing process.
Right, absolutely. And Latrice is an entrepreneur. She's a therapist, she's an entrepreneur. So when she breaks up with her boyfriend and then she moves into this community, right? So what does it mean to be an entrepreneur for Latrice, and what's her mission, and how does she balance her mission while
I
interacting?
love this part of the story. Just
Yeah.
just all of the small details of a woman branching out of a private practice, finding property, ownership, all of those small subliminal details about taking risks financially, and personally and professionally. And I think Kim really seamlessly put all that in there to go into a neighborhood and be like, I'm going to make the call. I'm going to lease this building. you know. It takes a lot of courage to do that as, you know, a woman on her own. And I
Right.
love that this character, I love that Latrice did that. You know,
Awesome.
even if
And
she was open, and then you have all these other aspects of on the same block, you know, Kimberly's, Elise's character and Dion's character, they have their shop. Like there's a lot of entrepreneurship happening
right.
that I think is a wonderful commentary on being courageous enough to follow your passion, you know, and not be afraid to own your shop.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a good point that you mentioned. Like
You know
everybody.
what's funny is that one of the original names for the for the movie was Head Shop.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
One of the original script in one of the earlier drafts, it was called Head Shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. Thank you for touching on that. I think, yeah, especially it's so important to recognize that there are other entrepreneur characters in this film as well. So what
One
is
second,
being
I just, my daughter's waking up.
yeah,
Just one.
no problem.
Okay.
Awesome. So what does being an entrepreneur mean to you?
Oh, it's a lot of prayer.
Yeah.
It's a lot of belief in your product.
Mhm.
And I always think that having an aspect of service in your entrepreneurial endeavors is very important because you will always win. It's not going to be easy, but when you are trying to serve others, I think that you have a better shot at success.
Right.
If it's with a hair product or a skin product or a fitness product or a book, um, I think that if you have that element of service, I think that you'll go a long way.
Absolutely. Yeah, service is so important.
Hmm.
You just being able to help other people is just I resonate with that as well. And my
Yes.
last question for you, Nicole, is what is this film? I know there's a lot of different elements and a lot of different nuances going on with the film, but what does it mean for you to play this role and tell this story, as well for the other actors in the film?
Um, I think it just feels good to be with so many legends in the film, Loretta Devine and Marla Gibbs. That was just a blessing for me. And then to be with my, you know, my peers, Kimberly Elise and I have done a couple of movies together, and we always laugh and connect and talk about the craft. And it's just, it was a lovely, lovely experience. We shot this movie a while ago, and for it to have this new traction is really, really exciting for all of us.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I am really excited about the premiere of the show. I know it happened yesterday, so just it's thank you for speaking with me today. It's really an honor.
Thank
Um,
you, Rashida.
thank you
Thank
for
you
your
for
work.
your great questions.
Thank you.